I pursued my PhD, and I can tell you for a fact this dinosaur industry, the education industry, the coaching and consulting industry, has been disrupted by AI forever. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what is happening and why I think having a paywall behind information is irrelevant. I know we said this in 2000, saying that, oh, the internet is here, information is around, and so on. But now with AI, we have strategic reasoning and we have context about who you are as an individual to learn and go forward. And I don't think we can ever sell information again in that hidden Facebook group with that hidden tactic that no one knows about. So without further ado, let's jump into this and give you the pivot or the solution to capture this wave that's coming, which is the new wave to actually monetize the education space. So stop selling information and start selling co-creation. So what now? What do we do about all of this? So we're going to cover three things in this video. Point number one is how AI just ended coaches, consultants, and info sellers. And this topic is very dear to my heart because I've pursued my PhD, big on education. So I'm going to give you brutal truth that nobody will talk to you about this industry and so on. So point number two over here is what I'm doing about it. What's the solution? What are the most important metrics to track? And point number three, of course, it does not make any sense if I just give you a theory behind everything. So I'm going to show you a practical demo on n8n. You see the tabs over here and Airtable. So you know what's the next step towards this just to get your creative juices going on. And this is inspired by Anthropic's paper, which is somewhere over here, this over here. I'm going to talk about it in a bit. If you don't know who I am, my name is Adham Alkhaja. I've pursued my PhD, sent satellites into outer space, had a couple of companies in the past 10 years, and I also taught bachelor courses. Very important information because we're talking about information and education. And I have a big claim to make over here. My big claim is AI just made the info paywall transparent and removed it completely, and many just don't want to accept it. What does that mean? Everyone right now, and we know from 2017 to 2024, let's say, everyone had this hack, tactic, funnel, or DM script, or those big titles that they had with a VSL under and book a call to get you on a sales call to buy their info product and give you a link to their course so you can go through it. And we've been through that cycle as well. They are right now talking behind closed doors saying that what do we do with this AI thing that has just democratized everything that we sell? So in the past, it was this brick wall, and now it's getting a bit transparent, and it's going to be a glass wall in a matter of, I'd say, months from today, 12 months, let's say max, with AI. And it had the form of, first of all, it was, if you're very old like me, we did it on WordPress and on using LearnDash and MemberPress. Then it was Facebook groups, Discord, Slack, Kajabi, Teachable, School, and this is from universities, which is Moodle and Blackboard. I even recorded a video about this and how I made the money online selling information. I think now this method is obsolete, and this was 1 year ago. Things are moving really fast. So I'm not going to mention any names over here, but I'm sure you've heard why or seen why people are switching to annual pricing, let's say high churn rate, what are the struggles are, why are they shifting their strategies, why are they shifting their messaging as well. So let me give you a brutally honest reality check about the info industry over here. And I think nobody would talk about this because it's bad for their business and they know this exists. So that's why in this channel, I want to be very transparent with you with everything and share with you all the information that you need so you can push forward and actually win in this market or any market you enter. So point number one is the info pirates. The info pirates are those people who have every course, program, book, or article or anything that you pay for in terms of information and offer it to you for 150 of the price. They have these group buys and so on, and I'm sure you know those dedicated groups are out there. They're filled on the internet, or you can even get them for free. And what stops people right now to going this route is essentially ethics, saying that this person was tired to write this book. Why should I get a pirated version of it? I'll just go pay it so that person benefits in any way. But the problem is, not many people have ethics or even have the budgets for 50,000 or let's say $10,000 per year programs. And this doesn't matter if it's pirated or not in terms of information. And the reason is it's not like luxury brands. For example, luxury brand or luxury goods, it's expensive because one, the brand, yes, of course, but also the materials they use, which are premium and so on. But information is information, and it comes down to the authority or the person that's telling you that information, and essentially that's pirated from the same person, so information stays information. And let me just give you an example on this. Warren Buffett, for example, if I tell you go buy a Coca-Cola stock after this video. You're most probably, let's say 99.99%, you're not going to buy Coca-Cola stock. But if Warren Buffett went on a live TV show right now and told you, buy Coca-Cola stock because that's what I'm investing in, he has the credibility of making millions and millions of dollars from investments. You most probably will go buy first and then go tell your friends. And this comes down again to authority because he has the authority and credibility to do so. That's point number one. Information, if coming from a person, and this is pirated stuff, they're giving you the authority, so it's not like luxury goods and so on. That's the info pirates. Point number two is the kids are not geniuses. First, it was drop shipping. Then it became forex traders flashing these fancy cars. Look at my Lambo. I just bought this from this forex trade. Join my course, whatever it is. And then it became these crypto traders, which Bitcoin and all that. Then got this JPEG kind of things, which is a trend people walked into as well. Now we're seeing them move into social media agencies, ad agencies. Then they become, right now they're talking about automation agencies. Like they're moving through these trends and going slowly. But most of these kids have not experienced life enough to teach, or they're basically influencers who made a piece of content because something was trending. That piece of content went viral. They wanted to monetize the audience and the attention they're getting, and they're gonna just they made a video about, okay, how, or a course about how can you go viral on YouTube because they went viral once, or personal branding courses and so on. And essentially all you see is recycled information from others, because what they're doing, if you look at this book Zero to One, they're not going from zero to one, which is doing new things, but one to n, copying things that work just so it becomes recycled information. And you just buy from them even though you don't get the results, because of they have the authority, plus that celebrity feel where I'm close to this person who's famous online and whatnot, whatever reason is there. So that's point number two. Point number three is behind closed doors excuses. So this is from my clients because I work with coaches, consultants, subject matter experts, and service providers, and so on. And they tell me that I don't want to babysit my clients anymore. I want to coach them. I'm following up with them. They're not showing up to the calls. What should I do? I've told them what they should do on every call, but they tell me I have no time. I have family. I have priorities. I don't have the energy, and so on. I'm buried with work from my 9 to 5, and so on. And they tell them that they don't watch the videos. I put all the videos over there, and hence they're not getting the value. Hence they churn from my program. They don't pay me anymore. But let's add AI because this thing looks new, and just for the sake of it. And just let me ask you this question: how many emails have you seen from coaches and consultants in the past 30 days that had AI in their subject, or talked somewhat about AI being good or bad? At the end of the day, we're not babysitters or business owners, but we also can't point fingers to them and saying, why do my clients not get the results? Because they're not doing the things. So now what? What do we do? And just over here, I just want to introduce you a topic, which is RAG. And I want you to imagine with me, what if, just what if, you could put all the information in the world about every single book about sales, let's say, every single video about an expert salesperson and so on, into one brain, where you don't need to watch, or don't need to watch 50-minute videos. You don't need to comment on the school communities as you see to unlock the levels on the leaderboard just to have you in and decrease their churn and learn, but only orchestrate the information. And I think orchestrators are the new Einsteins of the future. So let me show you this graph over here. AI is moving too fast right now, and it's too fast for me as well. When I don't look at the news or what's happening with AI, I feel that I've lost a generation of, of news and updates about AI. But we're only over here, and this is according to this report, AI 2027. I highly recommend you read it. It's going to open your mind in very weird ways. But we are somewhere over here right now. And you may tell me, okay, if we're somewhere here in 12 or 6 months, even, things will change. AI agents will no longer be needed, or we're going to have this new thing that we're going to do, and so on. And I'm going to argue with you that was the case 1 year or 2 years back, where everyone was talking about prompt engineering. How do we write prompts for AI? And today, we just use those prompts, which has user prompt and system prompt within AI agents. So we're somewhere here. And tomorrow, we're going to use AI agents with something else. The point being that those who prepare for AI today will win in the future. And those who play or experiment, even though these tools become irrelevant by that time, you're going to have a massive, massive advantage and capture that wave. That being said, we are in a transition right now, but lazy coaches, consultants, business owners, entrepreneurs, service providers who don't want to upskill are right now, and you can see this on social media happening all over the place, will protect themselves or trying to, because technology is inevitable. It's going to come, it's going to change things, but they're protecting themselves with hate. And this quote saying that AI will never replace me because I have empathy. I have this human connection and humans matter. Or that cliche quote that everyone says that AI won't replace you, but the person who's using AI will. And I'm here to tell you that AI has already replaced humans. It's not a matter of if and how and what, but it already has done it. And this is just in the last 30 days. Just before this recording, I went on Google and wrote Microsoft layoffs, news, and you can see 4 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 minutes ago, 6 hours ago, 3 hours ago, all here the news saying that employees are being laid off. And the reason being AI, because tech giants, including Microsoft and Amazon, because of AI, tech layoffs because of AI and AI. So they're talking about AI. And here from Fiverr, they mentioned that, and if you have not seen this, go check it out. Here's the unpleasant truth: AI is coming for you, for your jobs. Heck, it's coming for my job too. This is a wake up call. The Shopify CEO said that we're not going to hire any new person unless you prove that AI can do the job. And this was just in, let's say, 10 days, let's say 30 days ago. And I got this today from a client because I shared this exact message as a voice note. I said, guys, look, information is dead. Now, what we need to do is we need to shift towards this new thing, which I'm talking to you about over here, and I'm going to share the solution in a bit. And he mentioned that I'm experiencing this as well with the founders that I work with. I start as consulting or subject matter experts, and it quickly turns into, can you spend time with us, which is kind of a done with you thing, and implement these things with us. So his approach is moving forward is to use AI and automations for productizing himself and things he do. And this is, he's suspecting their shift in digital in the coaching and consulting world as well. Saying that, and a very important point right now, if you're on that bandwagon over here, I think I'd just challenge you to think about what you're thinking right now, because AI is not just coming, it's already here. And you can see it by the big players which have millions of dollars and a big market share to protect, saying that AI is very important. And we are in a transition, even though this being shocking news for a lot of people, the future looks extremely bright in terms of what we can do and how or what level the population or human can reach. So this comes down to two main points to me and what I understand from everything. The two metrics are: metric number one, the time to value; metric number two is value orchestration. Let me explain what I mean. So, with anything you're providing right now as a business owner, service provider, coach, consultant, and so on, with AI automation, what you can do is you can reduce the time to value. Someone gets value from you as soon as they pay to almost 1 hour or even less than 1 hour from in the past being, let's say, 1 week, 2 weeks, or even 4 months. Some people have time to values of 4 months. And let me give you an example of this. For example, if you're a coach, you're teaching people how to do sales. So the previous or traditional approach is go watch these sales training, watch the videos. Each video is 50 minutes. There is, let's say, 70 videos. Once you know how to handle psychology, handle objections, what to say, how to build rapport, and so on, and now we can implement. So most people don't have the time for that, to watch the videos, and they don't have the capacity to learn really fast. And most people, it's not a priority for them as well. What you can do is you can say, this is 2 minutes, watch this video to know how to use this tool that I just created, which is done for you, done with you tool. There's this AI agent, which is a voice agent, will come on board. You're going to try to sell that agent. I'm going to record everything. Then I'm going to get that recording. I'm going to look at it. And let's say, or even an AI can assess it, and it's going to give you where the gaps are. And you need to fix one, two, three, four. They got value immediately after just doing a 15-minute recording with an agent. So just so you see, and it's going to give you the lessons that you need over there. So the time to value has decreased significantly in this case. That's point number one. Always optimize for time to value using AI and automation in the workflows you have right now in your business. And point number two is value orchestration. So a person who joins you right now or starts working with you will work for you for a period of time, let's say. So you're going to orchestrate what value they get with what tools at day zero all the way to day N or day X or day 100, whatever time they work with you. And I like to look at this as 3 steps, and this is very well known in the industry as well: do it yourself, done with you, done for you. And I think everything is moving toward done with you right now. And the gold mine sets there for AI and automations being used with your service providers and business owners as well. Let me explain what I mean. I did done do it yourself for a really long time. The thing with do it yourself is, and this is the global statistics over here, 2 to 3% of people actually complete everything, or let's say you have a course. 2 to 3% of people will actually complete the full course and actually get the results, but majority, which is 97%, will not get the results they're there for. And I think this is not fair for your clients and customers and people to pay you on any amount of money so they don't get the results, and you say it's their problem not getting the results. And this is why I dislike this, let's say, low ticket communities in this case, because I feel it's not fair for an individual on the other side. If even if they're paying you $20 per month, it's not fair. And the other part is done for you. Of course, you're going to be the subject matter expert. You're going to get them the results, but I don't think this is scalable, because how many hours do you have within a single day? It's not scalable for you. You're going to increase your prices until how much? There's a cap for both ways. I think the gold mine lies within the done with you, where you serve a lot of clients. And the example that I just told you over here, when with the use of AI and automations and so on, you get to a big amount of people and serve a big portion of the market. So, what is the solution over here? I talked to you about the problem, what I see, and the direction we're moving. What's the solution? And this is a solution I am pivoting into as well before it's too late. And I suggest you to do as well. The solution is to co develop and co create. What do I mean by that? So let's imagine this brain over here. This brain can take in or intake a lot of books, let's say all the books about sales or marketing, whatever your niche is, all the videos on YouTube, such as this video, and take all their transcripts, all the paid courses and the information that you've paid for already, and have it within its mind. And you know the saying that goes like, knowledge is not power, knowledge is potential power until it's applied. So then what if we have AI agents that use this as a filter to actually take action on that knowledge and do things for you? So it's a multi-step kind of thing. And I think right now where we are in technology and so on, we are at this stage. And I want to share this with you. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid announced that AI is a mandatory subject in UAE schools. And our leaders see things that we could never see at the time, because they have a great vision for this great country. And this is why they are great leaders as well. But my assumption over here and how I think schools will go and how everything will develop is as follows. So let's talk about what education is at first. Education to me is, and this is me being philosophical, but really going to the core and fundamental what things are, because I pursued my PhD and I understand this and I'm taught a lot of students as well. So education is me giving you something that when you're exposed to the same environment tomorrow, you have a changed behavior than how you behave today. So for example, I'm moving this mouse right and left. So if someone tells me if you click this button, there's something red that's going to pop up, I'm going to click that button. Tomorrow, when I want to explain something at a similar situation, I click that button so something red pops up, and so you know where I am within the screen. So I've been educated in this case. And how fast I click that button and do it every single time is intelligence, which is the rate of education, let's say. But what stopped us in the past is that in the past we had a single source of information to get educated or to change our behavior. For example, it was the teacher, it was the internet, it was Google to get a piece of information, and so on. And then your question would be, okay, if you're telling me that it's information that changes behavior, wasn't information around when the internet came in? Everyone was saying this is the age of information in the 2000s and so on. Yes, you're true. That's very right as well. But everything shifted when AI came in, because information alone was dumb. But then we had reasoning, which AI came in, artificial intelligence, and had that ability to reason. And this happened around 2014 to 2016. And then on top of this, now AI can have context about who you are, how fast you learn, what your gaps are, and so on. So all this together is what unlocks the power of AI within education. So let me explain to you three models that I see how this developing. Traditionally, what used to happen is we have this teacher, we have a bunch of students in the class, and the teacher was the smartest person in the room. That's why we listened to this person and looked forward to learning from this person information that we don't have and we can't find anywhere. And this person was an authority or a credibility because they did the things they were preaching at that time. And this slowly shifted towards what we're going to see very soon over here, and what I think it's going to shift to. But you remember at that point saying that when a teacher was being mean to students and so on, you were saying something like the teacher also was at some point at the intelligence level as students, learning everything like I am. Why is this person very mean to me? Or why does this person make me feel that I lack the information and is testing me in XYZ? So what I think we're shifting towards right now, that the teacher will no longer be the smartest person or that single source that will educate me, but AI or this brain will be, and because it's so good right now, it's going to be the smartest person within the room. And if the teacher is not the smartest person in the room, do you think students will listen to that person if that person does not have authority or credibility? I don't think so. And I wouldn't listen from someone who has not done what I want to do, or does not have the information that I want as well. And we choose, and you remember this as well if you're in university and school as well. We used to know that there are certain subjects when we used to choose our classes. There are certain professors that are really good, highly educated, and if we go, we're going to learn. But we chose the easy route in terms of this professor is not that stringent, gives easy grades. Let's go with that professor. So we also chose classes with a teacher that wasn't that good. So what I think is going to happen now is teachers, to stay at that position of being the smartest person, that having that authority, they have to have a bunch of AIs with themselves. This begs another question: are teachers ready today to be in such a position or not? That's a different discussion. But teachers will have AI assisting them, so they become the smartest person in the room and have that knowledge. I know how to orchestrate AI, and every student will have that AI companion where it gives it the reasoning and the individual context behind it. And I heard this from a friend very recently, and my friend is very pro AI. He said that they're telling my daughter at school, think for yourself, don't let AI to think for you. While he's telling his daughter, no, it's okay to use AI, and you need to leverage it and orchestrate it as well. So there's that fear within teachers as well. And he also, this funny story, he told his daughter that here's a 400 piece of book, go for 400 pages of book, go read it, and on Monday I want you to give me a full summary of it with every single detail. I'm going to quiz you on it. You can either go use AI, or you can just read it yourself and think for yourself. What do you decide? So this is just a nice example of proving the point. What I think we're going to move to, and I may be wrong over here, but everything will be teacherless, and it will be 100% co-creation, and everyone will become, finally, as they mentioned, I'm a student of life, they will become students of lives, because AI will get to a point where it has the context, it has the reasoning, where it reasons, and it has all the information that you need about a particular subject. And there will be pools of schools all around the world, which is life being school itself. For example, as I observe the screen, AI will tell me and reason with me. It will give me context. You think this way, so this may be applied for XYZ. So we will become schools of life or students of life, down the line. So this is what I think is happening with the education system, since we're talking about education over here. So now let me talk to you about contextual retrieval mechanisms. I had a piece of paper over here. I don't know where it is, but essentially, I want to just explain to you what this is. So imagine I have a piece of paper over here, and this piece of paper had a bunch of lines or information about some particular topic. So I can't feed this piece of information into an AI, because if I feed it, let's say 1,000 pages of information, it's gonna lose context because of context windows and XYZ. Maybe we can in the future, but right now it's not the case. So what I would do is I would tear the paper where into paragraphs, randomly, of course, and I'm not know where I'm gonna tear it into, and then I'm going to write on the side of the paper, this paragraph is talking about XYZ, is from this paper. This paragraph is talking about another topic, which is from this paper. And then on the back of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the words as well, just so AI has enough information to retrieve such information or knowledge in the future. And this was clearly explained in a paper called Contextual Retrieval, which is RAG essentially, and you're contextualizing RAG. And you can go through this paper as well. But what I want to explain to you and show to you is a very important paper if you're going to do anything with this education, by the way. But what I want to explain to you is this graph over here, which is saying that the normal way of doing things, like if you take a standard way of doing things and how people are doing it online and on YouTube, they have a 20% error rate in terms of if you ask AI, grab for me information. I'm going to show you live how we're going to do this, but grab information about this piece of report. There's a 20% chance it's going to be wrong. And then if you go through this paper and apply the method with a normal embedding way as well, you get a 6% error rate. But in this new way where you can write things on the side of the paper saying that this is about this, and as you tear it up and so on, that's a contextual embedding plus a certain way of putting it on the database, which I'm going to show you in a bit. And this is what I want to show you over here, because this is very important of taking everything we talked about and making it practical, which is the brain part. And this is something I'm working on as well to give to my clients, which is called the brain MVM, minimum viable machines. And I'm going to show them how to do it and so on. But now let me demo for you exactly how I've built this out so you can have an idea. Okay, this is a theory, this is what's happening, and now we can make it practical. So what I've built out over here is this RAG system where you ingest, give AI information, any piece of information you want, and then you retrieve the information from here. So let's try retrieving information. So we're going to do a test over here, but let's try retrieving information about the whisper effect. What is the whisper effect? This is something I have within the school community as well, which I talk about content, which is a part of the IP as well. Let's see what's going to tell me. Yeah, we're going to see. Okay, the whisper effect does not appear to be widely recognized term in scientific literature. In other words, I don't know what this is. So now let's go feed it a piece of document saying that this is a whisper effect. So how I've set this up is that I've set this dashboard over here where you can add the source, which is the link of the folder that you have. You identify the link, whether it's a YouTube video or it's a YouTube transcript or it's a YouTube channel, whatever it is, who's the author of it, and what this source is, and what's the location, if it's paid or free. And this is just to set the metadata for the retrieval. As I mentioned, if we throw a lot of information within the database over here, and it's empty right now, as you can see, the database is empty. I'm going to show you how we're going to upload things in it. And if you throw a lot of information over here, I can retrieve it at any time I want. So what we can do now, we go to knowledge base, we click check on the ingest, and this is just one document I've thrown into, and I go on the top over here and click ingest, so test workflow, and you can see this working right now. So it fetches that, it sees, okay, we don't have it within their database. Let's create a record. We create a record. Let's go here. Let's now contextualize it. Let's tear that paper into pieces, and now let's put pieces within that paper. And once it's contextualized over here, we can recall and just call this a piece of information, and it's going to give us everything about it. So yeah, this is 92 items, so this is going to take time, but just so you understand everything, once this is done and it's within the record itself, so you can see over here the record manager, it was empty. So it's just telling you this is the record, we have set it, this is the hash, and so on, and I'm chunking it up over here for you. So now let's go back to this RAG over here. So if I go, it's not in the database yet because it needs to go through the full loop. And if I go and ask it over here, what is the whisper effect? It's going to tell me, and then I can add an agent over here saying that use the whisper effect to create a piece of email and so on. And then I have used that brain and taken action on the information and use the contextualization with a 1% error rate, let's say, and avoiding that hallucination problem and everything everyone talks about. As I said, this is a very dear topic to me because I've pursued my PhD and highly love learning new things. But you can see everything is being revolutionized because our brains have this human capacity of how much we can learn and how fast we can learn using our eyes, ears, and experiences and so on. So what if we had this machine that could learn, let's say, at least 1,000 times faster than us and become 1,000 times smarter than Einstein, let's say in the next 12 to 24 months. And then we could use anyone's brain that's constantly updated, even when we sleep, to do things and tasks within our business as business owners or as service providers and so on. I think this is a next step for everyone, no matter what we're doing. And we are becoming orchestrators at this point and not intelligent learners that need to learn all this information about everything.